Hello viewers, we can see on topic for the subject object oriented programming and the topic is from the third unit built-in exceptions. Objectives are to state the built-in exceptions in Java, to apply built-in exceptions in Java programming. Exceptions are unexpected event which may occur during the execution of the program which will disrupt the normal flow of programs instructions. So, the exceptions leads to abnormal termination of the program. Therefore, these exceptions are needed to be handled. In Java, there is a powerful mechanism is there, exception handling, which will handle the runtime errors so that the normal flow of application can be maintained. In Java, exceptions may be of two types, built-in exceptions and user-defined exceptions. Built-in exceptions are the exceptions which are available in Java libraries. These exceptions are suitable to explain certain error situations. Now we can see the various built-in exceptions available under the Java packages, Java libraries. First one is arithmetic exception. This is the exception which will mention for the error situation occurred during the arithmetic operation. Then array index out of bound exception. It is to indicate whenever the array has been accessed with the illegal index. If the index is not available, not valid for a particular array, this particular exception can be thrown. Class not found exception. This exception is raised when we try to access a class whose definition is not found. File not found exception. This is the exception to mention the error situation. Whenever we access a file, if the file is not available, or if the file is not accessible, it cannot be opened, this exception may be handled. IO exception. This is thrown when an input-output operation failed or interrupted. Interrupted exception. It is thrown when a thread is waiting, sleeping or doing some processing and it is interrupted. No such field exception. This is the exception to mention the situation when a class does not have certain field or variable specified. If we mention one field or variable, if the variable or field does not available in a particular class, that kind of error situation will be handled with the help of no such field exception. No such method exception. If one method is not accessible or if a method is not found under a class, that error situation will be handled with the help of no such method exception. Null pointer exception. This exception is raised when referring to the members of the null object. Number format exception. This exception is raised when a method could not convert a string into number format. So this is the error situation happening during the type conversion. If the string cannot be converted into the number format, numeric format, this exception will be helpful. Runtime exception. This represents any exception which occurs during the runtime. String index out of bound exception. In a string, individual elements will be accessed with the help of index. When we try to access the element, if the index is not invalid, that is, if the element for the particular index is not available or the index is not available for the particular string, these kind of exceptions can be mentioned. Now we can see the example program that explains the number format exception. We are defining the class and we are having the main function. Under that we are having the try block and catch block. We all know the code which will cause the exception have to put under the try block and the code which will handle the corresponding exception will be put under the catch block. So whenever exception occurs, the corresponding catch block will be executed. Otherwise, catch block will be skipped. That is, if the exception not occurs means the corresponding catch block will not be executed. That will be skipped. So in the try block, we are having one statement which is used to access one value for the variable num. Actually, we are declaring num as integer variable, but we are trying to get the string value to the integer variable. This is not accepted. Okay, hello is the, we are trying to put the value hello to num. Hello is actually string, num is integer variable, so this is not applicable thing. So this will leads to error situation. So this kind of error is called as number format exception. And in the catch block we are having the statements to handle the error that arises in the try block. So in this catch block we are printing some statement, that is number format exception. So as a result of execution of this program, we will get the output like number format exception. Next we can see the program to explain the stack overflow exception. Here stack overflow exception means if a function uh, is called for number of times, a stack entry will be added. For example, in this program we are calling the function fun, and fun1, inside the function fun1 we are calling the function fun2, and inside the function fun2 we are calling the function fun1. So here the functions will be called again repeatedly for number of times. It will go on without termination. The functions will be called for a infinite number of times. So this leads to stack overflow. For each time a function is called, a stack will be one entry will be added to the stack. Here stack will be filled with many entries, like because the function is called many times. Fun1 is calling fun2 and fun2 is calling fun1. This is happening repeatedly for infinite number of times. So this will leads to stack overflow. So in this kind of situation, stack overflow exception will be happened. So in this program will produce the error that will be mentioned by the stack overflow exception handling. So that's all about the different built-in exceptions. So built-in exceptions are present under the Java libraries. So we no need to define the error cases, error situations and the handling methods. So there are some error situations and there are some built-in exceptions are defined in the Java library itself. They are called as Java built-in libraries, Java built-in exceptions. And the possible university question is explain built-in exceptions in Java with example program. Thank you all.